All right, welcome back to a segment Andrew insisted on calling topic Tapas. Little bites of different news here, and we start with the subject he won't like to talk about, that is Andrew, but Derek Jeter. He is calling it quits, retiring here after this coming year. We're going to be talking about this in the coming days. I just wanted to make sure you weren't surprised if you hadn't seen it already here. But listen, if you followed the Yankee run when they went back to relevancy, let alone to the championships, it started, and it always started with him. And even for fans of the Mets or the Orioles or whatever else, there was always that respect factor. We'll be getting into that in the coming days here, but a little bit of a surprise today when he said this year, in fact, will be his last. All right, I got a question for you, Dominic. There was a story that came out that Bill de Blasio called a precinct house because a pastor, a prominent pastor, apparently I think from Queens, did something he shouldn't have done, and he was there for what usually would be for that charge for overnight till he would be cleared. He didn't spend the night there. Give a little bit of a backdrop to it. And my question to you is, does it help or hurt more when a governor calls because now everybody knows and they're going to look under the rug? Or, hey, you got friends in high places, usually this stuff never gets out. Which one is it?
Well, first of all, this clergy member was a member of Mayor de Blasio's transition team. And the mayor committed a major boo-boo. When you're the mayor, you can't make those types of telephone calls.
It, right?
Right. If it's one thing if you call your police commissioner, Bill Bratton, who knows how to keep his mouth shut, in which those things are done almost every day. But you can't call a deputy inspector and then the deputy inspector admits the call was made. And so this pastor, clergy member, his insurance was had lapsed on his car. He apparently didn't realize it. The police pull him over. Then they realize he has 2 warrants for protesting immigration. They lock him up, and which it was too late to see a judge. And then all of a sudden, the mayor calls, and presto, he's out. And so police are saying, you know, you're supposed to see the judge.
One had nothing to do with the other. They claim it's not the end of the world, but my only point is, it did seem like a rookie move. You don't make the call yourself.
It is a rookie move. It is a rookie move.
More than we think?
It happens all the time. But again, normally it's the mayor mentioning the person's name and just looking at his police commissioner. And the police commissioner knows by the end of the day this person better be out of custody. Or I'd be maybe looking for a job. But you don't pick up the phone and call someone rookie mistake.
Now, next up, Attorney General Eric Holder, and he's got a new push here to get ex-felons to vote. So we're clear, it's not talking about guys sitting in jail here. He says, when you're released from prison, you should have a right to vote. Now, Holder in his speech signaled this would be a major push for both he and the president before they leave office. And Holder calling some states' lifetime bans on voting rights to felons a vestige of racist policies of the South after the Civil War. Andrew, why is he doing this?
Well, you look at the population that's in prison right now, and it is overwhelmingly minority, and certainly disproportionately minority. And there are lots of places where you go into prison for whatever the thing may be, you come out and you either can't get the right to vote, or they make you jump through all sorts of hoops to get the right to vote. There is a political angle to this because most of the voters who are coming out of prison you would expect would be Democratic voters. So there is that incentive to it also, but there's also legitimate questions about fairness.
Well, you made a point to me about what you can do when you get out of prison versus what you can't.
In more states, it's actually easier to get a gun license and get permission to buy a gun than it is to get your right to vote back. I mean, they've made it a state like Florida.
You get your actual gun back that they took away from you when in.
Or to get clearance through the online system to actually buy guns. Texas, Oklahoma, Florida have passed laws specifically making it easier so that like the day you get out, you have the right to buy the gun. But in places, in all 3 of those states, I don't think you have the right to vote. And in some cases, you never get the right to vote back.
Yeah, this will be interesting. Republicans hate this idea, but yet it seems like DOJ is going to push this thing. Now, we talked about Michael Sam, obviously, the Missouri football player who is going to be in the draft this year and expected to be taken somewhere in the middle rounds. But, you know, for all the talk of the support he received, and listen, he told his team before the season and nobody said a word about it here, and most of the comments from the pro leagues has been nothing but supportive. It does show what kind of a generational issue this is, because while his teammates and active people, certainly in their 20s, seem to say, what's the big deal, not everybody else shares this, including his own father. I want you to hear what Michael Sam has to say himself a pastor, by the way. He said, I don't want my grandkids raised in that kind of environment, talking about his son. I'm old school. I'm a man and woman type of guy.
He was at a party when his son
His own
texted
birthday
him,
party, right.
texted him that he was coming out, and it might have been the first time that he admitted
He
that.
left, walked out of the party, went to Applebee's to have a few drinks because he couldn't take this, and he said Deacon Jones will be rolling around in his grave. To me, this, more than any issue I can think of, guys, if you're a teenager, if you're in the 20s, even if you're on the early side of the 30s, you say, who cares? Doesn't matter Republican or Democrat. Then all of a sudden, 30s, 40s, 50s, probably most people are still very cool with it. But when you get to an older generation, this is still something that they never thought they'd see in their lifetime, and obviously people are struggling with it.
Well, Richard, pardon me for this one. So his father, I want to make sure I got this right. He has an issue with his son being gay, but we can just let the black community continue with the problems that we have: babies making babies, dropping out of school, dysfunction on top of dysfunction. It's all good as long as you're not gay.
And my problem, by the way, is his father lost 2 children who died through violence on the streets, 2 other sons. And he has at least 1, if not 2, that are currently serving time in incarceration. And this is the son who was the first person in his family to go to college, to graduate from college here, by all accounts, a captain on his team. This is somebody, you know, the father, I think, but every family is different. But to me, you should be proud of this kid.
Yeah,
But
I don't get it.
No.
I just don't get it, Richard. I really don't get it. The
Listen,
opposition.
tomorrow night, guys, I know we're going to be talking, I'm sure, a lot about the storm and the ramifications and any of the big news that's coming down. So I will see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. But you folks at home, stay with me, because when we come back, we're going to bring in our all-star legal team again to a whole host of issues, including a question I had surrounding the Michael Sam case and more. Stay with us.